Hello guys, welcome to our channel Book Summary House. Today we are going to look into a summary of the book On the Origin of Species by Charles Darwin. On the Origin of Species is a groundbreaking scientific work by Charles Darwin that explains how species evolve over time. Darwin challenges the traditional belief that species were created separately and remain unchanged. Instead, he proposes that all living organisms descend from common ancestors through a gradual process he calls natural selection. Darwin begins by discussing variation under domestication. He explains how humans selectively breed plants and animals, for example, dogs or pigeons, to enhance desired traits. This demonstrates that species can change significantly over generations. Darwin argues that if humans can cause such variation intentionally, nature itself can cause even greater changes unintentionally over long periods. He then moves to variation in nature, observing that individuals within the same species are never exactly alike. Some variations help organisms survive better in their environment. Since organisms produce more offspring that can survive, there is a constant struggle for existence, competition for food, space, and mates. This struggle leads to natural selection. Individuals with favorable traits such as better camouflage, strength, or resistance to disease are more likely to survive and reproduce. These advantageous traits are passed on to the next generation, while less useful traits gradually disappear. Over time, this process leads to adaptation, making organisms better suited to their environment. Darwin emphasizes that natural selection works slowly over thousands or millions of years. Small changes accumulate, eventually leading to the formation of new species. This explains the diversity of life on Earth without requiring separate acts of creation. A key idea in the book is common descent. Darwin proposes that all species are related and trace back to shared ancestors. He uses the metaphor of a branching tree where species diverge over time. Extinct species form broken branches while living species represent growing ones. Darwin provides strong evidence from fossils. It shows gradual changes in organisms over time rather than sudden appearances. Through the fossil record, Though the fossil record is incomplete, it still supports the idea of evolution by showing transitional forms between groups. Another major source of evidence is comparative anatomy. Darwin explains that organisms often have homologous structures, body parts with similar structures but different functions, such as forelimbs of humans, whales, bats, and horses. This similarity suggests descent from a common ancestor. He also discusses vestigial organs like the human appendix, which no longer serve a clear purpose but indicate evolutionary history. Darwin also examines embryology, noting that embryos of different species often resemble one another in early stages. This similarity further supports common ancestry. The book addresses geographical distribution as well. Darwin observes that species on islands resemble those on nearby continents rather than species in similar environments elsewhere. This suggests that species migrate and then evolve independently in new locations. Darwin carefully responds to objections. He acknowledges difficulties such as the lack of intermediate forms and the complexity of organs like the eye. However, he explains that complex organs can evolve gradually from simpler ones, each stage being useful. Importantly, Darwin does not directly discuss human evolution in detail in this book, but he clearly implies that humans, like all other species, are subject to the same natural laws. The book concludes by emphasizing that evolution explains both the unity and diversity of life. Darwin represents nature as governed by natural laws rather than fixed design, yet still full of beauty and complexity. He argues that understanding evolution enhances rather than diminishes our appreciation of the natural world. In essence, species are not fixed. Variation exists in all populations. More individuals are born than can survive. Natural selection preserves favorable traits. All life shares common ancestry. Evolution is slow, gradual, and continuous. Thank you for listening to us. Please subscribe to our channel and please press the bell icon for more videos. Thank you so much.